Not even going to hurt you. Just thank you.
Yeah.
For your stabbing.
Of course.
One favor.
Yeah, what's up?
Keep it up.
Of course.
Thank you. Plague spears. You stab 2 people, they both get the plague, and they're stabbed. Why does it hurt so bad? Why?
This is an old book. Very. This is like one of the old books.
Yes. Why they keep the book? That's not in the fucking book.
I don't think you exist. And he's like, oh my god, how about a fucking this? I'll just make a mountain. And they're like, no, I don't think that was you.
I wouldn't really call that a mountain. More of a hill.
No, but I made this mountain out of nothing.
Yeah, but you keep saying mountain, right? And if it was a mountain, then I guess I'd be more inclined to believe you. But in my eyes, it's really more of a hill.
Now we're just splitting hairs. I just want to confirm that there was nothing here before. It was flat.
Yep, saw that.
And now it's not flat.
Then I saw that, yeah.
So I'm real.
Again.
You're talking to me right now.
Am I talking to you? What you think would confirm immediately? Oh, Christ. So chapter 26 starts with the phrase, after the plague ended. The plague of the double that ended with the double stabbing.
Right.
So I'm assuming that the next thing that happens comes immediately after God was just murdering people, and then it stops, and he goes, okay, cool. Now go count everybody again.
Kate, wait, why? Why do you want me to count it? Like, do you need a specific number of deaths?
I can't come unless at least 10,000 people die. I need to hear the number.
I don't need to know that.
Well, you asked.
No,
you said why?
You could. I'll stop. I don't know. I would just stop asking stuff. I'm just gonna go do stuff.
Yeah. So they do a new census. It is the beginning of the infuriating shit in these episodes because it does the same thing as the last census, where it's just like, and then this person was this tribe, and this person was this tribe, and this person was this tribe. But it also gets even more technical and starts listing sub-clans.
What?
Yeah, so like there's like the head of like the main descendant of, Simeon or whatever, and then his 6 sons. And then one of his 6 sons had a son, and then that guy had extra sons. So those are like sub-clans of the clan of Simeon.
Why are they not part of the clan?
Because they split. I don't know, man.
All right.
This book is dumb.
Yeah, we're getting hung up on the wrong details again.
We are, but also
it's very aggravating. It's very aggravating. It's always every single detail you can get hung up on.
Just for everybody watching, there are funny names in the thing.
I've seen some of them, and I'm loving some of them.
Yeah, no, they're great. But I had to read so much of this bullshit that I did not have the patience to go back and find the funny names for you after all of this. So, go read it yourself. That's something actually I want to bring up.
Don't go read it yourself. Keep watching this show. Don't go read the Bible.
No, I want to invite people to reread the stuff we talk about. Number 1, to confirm it for yourself. And number 2, find funny shit that we didn't bring up and put it in the comments because...
I like the name Dathan. Because it's spelled Nathan, but with a D.
With a D.
So imagine just needing because it's a biblical name. Someone who's super Christian could name their child like, "Hi, my name is Nathan." I like race cars and trucks. My name is Nathan.
Specifically, the one thing we need to talk about really quick is that in verse 33, a man named Heifer, that's not what we need to talk about, has a son named Zelophehad. I will be referring to him as Cephalopod because that's what it looks like to me. And he comes back, so it's important.
There's so many names.
I know. Verse 33.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just show it because I'm gonna just show it real quick so you can get a taste of it.
Yeah.
God, that's just names. It's all just names. It's bullshit. Yeah. It's fucking
baffling.
You think there was like an editor for the Bible like, dude, we got to fill out more pages. This book is really thin. They're like, whoa.
I'm going to be honest with you. By the time we're done shooting these episodes today, you're going to be convinced that's exactly what happened.
God damn it. I don't like being able to predict the Bible.
It's almost like it doesn't take that much work to predict shittiness. No, so seriously, in verse 33, there's a guy named Thye're. He has a son named Cephalopod. That guy had no sons. We're not going to talk any more about that right now, but it's just important for you to know that for later.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The end result is that there were 601,000 Israelite men.
Is that how many he killed, or is that how many were left?
That's how many were left. That's the new census.
There were like 4 million people before, right?
What's that?
Were there like 4 million people before?
Well, yeah, that was our loose math because there were 600,000 men before now. But that's just men of fighting age, Israelite men over 20 who could fight in the military.
Okay.
Right. So it doesn't take into account all the boys below 20, all the elderly men, and then all the women and girls. So our loose math said millions.
Okay.
But the reason they do the census is because it's finally time for them to go to the promised land. So they need to know how many people there are.
We're going.
Yeah.
Holy shit. It's about time. I've been waiting for what feels like 40 years, but
right.
Fun fact, we've been doing this show a year.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I think our first show was like May 5th last year now.
Weird.
So we've been doing the show officially for 1 year.
That's wild.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
We've had a couple weird breaks with like fires and pandemics, but
just simple little
casual things.
Yeah.
Not a big deal.
But they're going to go to the promised land finally, and they need to divide up the land and distribute it based on like the size of the tribes. So they need to know how many people are in each tribe so that they can get the appropriate amount of land to their thing.
Sure.
Let's see. In verse 59, there's a quick little retcon to make sure that you remember that Moses and Aaron's parents were actually part of the Levite tribe.
Okay.
Verse 61.
Is it a retcon or is it a reminder?
I can't tell.
Okay.
I don't think it was made clear until now. I'm calling it a retcon because I don't think that it was made clear up until now. And so now them being like, oh yeah, by the way, they were totally Levites. Just seems like a weird extra nonsense thing.
Hey, if you guys are watching the episodes and you want to let us know, you could always just, DM us at Instagram or whatever. Or
leave a comment.
Do we have an email?
Yeah. preachingpod@gmail.com.
Send it there and let us know. And
verse 61, Nadab and Abihu were Aaron's sons who died because they burned the wrong kind of fire.
I remember that.
Yeah. Can't
It
forget.
was the incense thing, right?
Yeah.
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 So he set them on fire, which is, it's poetic and it makes sense, but it's also extremely harsh.
Exactly. It's God. Cephalopod's daughters approach Moses, the guy that had no sons. And they're like, hey, our dad died, didn't leave an heir. So based on the way the rules work right now, his family name will die. Like his bloodline will die. And we won't inherit any land. And Moses is like, it's weird that these coat hangers are talking to me. No, because women aren't people.
Right. Yeah, of course. I mean,
Moses is like, that actually does make sense. Let me go, double check with God. And God's like, yeah, it does make sense that their family name and their bloodline shouldn't die out just because this guy didn't have any sons. So from now on, if a man doesn't have any sons, his daughters receive the inheritance. If he doesn't have any kids, it goes to his brother. And then they just they break down a delineation.
We're giving women stuff now? We're giving women stuff?
Only if your genetics suck so bad that you can't have a son.
That doesn't seem fair.
I know. Yeah. So this is actually something that I wanted to bring up. Firstly, the daughters bring up that their father died in the wilderness. Like he was just one of the, the reason they had to do the census, they had to make sure that everybody who didn't want to invade Canaan 40 years ago is dead. All these people are new people. This is an entire new generation of Israelites.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So they go to Moses and they're like, hey, our dad died in the wilderness like he was supposed to, I guess. But he didn't have any sons. And so they do the whole thing. But number one, couldn't God have just made sure that that guy had a son? Wouldn't that have been the easy solution?
You say that?
I do say it. I said it. I was there for it.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, but think about it like this.
I'm thinking.
Maybe God was just busy with murders, so he forgot to give that guy sons.
To be totally honest with you, that makes 100% sense.
Boom.
Yeah. Second thing, the daughters, when they're talking to Moses, say that their father was one of the Israelites that died in the wilderness because he was part of the people that didn't want to invade Canaan, but he wasn't part of Korah and his rebellion, the guy that got eaten by Earth. Mm-hmm. So like, it's not fair that his bloodline should die because he was just part of the Jews that kind of sucked rather than the Jews that super sucked. Like, it just seems really nitpicky. Like,
it's a good argument, though.
It is. No, it is. I just want to bring that up.
It's right up God's alley. It's just, we weren't the ones you hated the most. And he's like, I fucking hated those guys. Like, we weren't them. He's like,
shit.
Yeah, you got a point, I guess. So I'll just change the rules now because I didn't hate you guys as much as I hated them. At the time, hated you guys. Oh, you guys were the worst. But then those other guys came along and they were the fucking worst. So really, my hands are tied here. I got to help you out.
That actually makes 100% sense. So I rescind my thing. Your thing makes more sense. Moving on.
You gotta play to your audience, baby.
I get it. In verse 20 of chapter 27, Moses is supposed to transfer his authority to the next person that's going to take over for him as speaker of God or whatever.
He's passing the torch.
And it specifically says he has to do it publicly so that all the Israelites will respect him, the new guy, the way they respected Moses. When did they ever respect Moses?
In the beginning, they respected Moses. Yeah, they followed him. He freed them from slavery, and then 40 minutes later, they were angry at him.
Did they even respect him though, or did he just go to him and be like, "Hey, so you know how all these kids are dying? There's blood and frogs everywhere. My guy did that. Come with me, or it happens to you."
No comment. No comment on that one.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna. My client does not wish to respond to that. Let's call for a recess.
I can understand why.
Objection?
Sustained.
Ha
We're not doing chapter 28 or chapter 29 because we already did them.
Again?
Yeah.
Again, we're doing this?
Yeah. So this one is offerings. And it just tells you what offerings you have to do daily, on the Sabbath, monthly, and then for Passover, and then for the festivals.
This shit is all in double fucking quotes.
Yeah, because God is telling Moses to tell everybody.
This again.
It never stops. This is the whole thing.
So we're doing the same thing again where it's like, God said this, and then no, it's Moses saying this to people that God said this, and now he's telling them.
Yeah. Verse 2 of the one thing I do want to bring up, verse 2 of chapter 28, God informs the Israelites that the sacrifices they make to him are his food. So apparently God eats.
So mine says something a little different.
What does yours say?
It says that it is food, but it's not his food. See that you present to me at the appointed time the food for my offerings made by fire as an aroma pleasing by me.
So that's the second half of verse 2 in mine.
Okay.
My 28:2 in mine says, give these instructions to the people of Israel. The offerings you present to me by fire on the altar are my food, and they are very pleasing to me. See to it that they are brought at the appointed time and offered according to my instructions. Let's get the condescending twat out. See what she has to say.
Yeah, I missed her. Not really.
Yeah, no one misses this book.
Well, actually, that's what that book should just say on the cover. Well, actually, book.
Give the command to the Israelites. Make sure that you present to me at appointed times my food offerings as an aroma pleasing. Okay, so I guess you could make the argument that just because it's a new translation, they're trying to make it a little bit more understandable. But I also have to make the argument that if this book thinks it's important to inform you that God said it's his food.
Yeah, this is in the big brown boy
in Jash.
In good old Jash. Yeah, I'm reading the King James one in it. It basically says my offerings and my food. So
yeah, so God eats.
God eats.
He eats a lot.
It said my bread in that, which is, I'm sure it's not meant to be taken literally.
Yeah.
But
well, it's definitely not meant to be taken literally because all of these things are breaking down all the things you're supposed to bring. And it's lambs with no physical defects and grain and flour and olive oil. And yeah.
God eats good.
He does.
God eats real good.
Super convenient. The Levites also eat super well.
Weird.
Right.
Well, that worked out.
Yeah.
For them, they're
Very
just super lucky. And they're the best at murder. And they have a book of the Bible named after them. So it's weird how all that just kind of combines into just a huge pile of coincidences just on top of each other.
But when you follow God, things just line up for you.
God works in mysterious ways that make a lot of sense if you just, connect a dot to another dot.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, again, chapter 29 is more offerings and shit. We haven't done that, but neither you or I have the patience for me to tell you that on the 6th day of the festival, you have to sacrifice 8 young bulls, 2 rams, 14 one-year-old male lambs, blah, blah, blah. That was one day of 10. No, not doing it.
No.
Nope.
We've learned our lesson from trying to read this thing verbatim.
We did. It was awful.
Especially at the worst parts of it.
I can't believe I did not die from alcohol poisoning.
We really should have. No, it was. I don't remember any of those first episodes.
Chapter 30, I'm almost positive that we did this already.
Okay.
I'm
all right.
Not 100% sure. So I'm just going to tell you, it's super easy. It's a super quick one.
Mm-hmm.
If a man makes a vow or a pledge, he's required to keep it at period, end of story. That's it.
Okay. That feels new. I don't think we've talked about vows before.
Well, we did talk about the vow where you can't eat grapes if you want to be a servant in the temple.
Right. But that was a specific rule for a specific thing. It's not just like blanket if you make a vow.
Right. If a lady makes a vow, the man that currently owns her can go, bitch, within the first day that he hears about it.
It does feel familiar.
Right?
It does feel familiar.
And if he says he doesn't like it, then the vow is null and void. But if he hears about it and takes too long to say no, then the vow stands and she has to do whatever it is.
I mean, as far as treating women like property and being super sexist, that's actually kind of fair.
Yeah.
It's not like the coolest thing to do, but like the fact that it's not just like the man gets override forever. It's like, dude, you got a fucking day. All right. And if you don't like it, tough shit. She's doing her thing. Like, get over it.
I mean, realistically,
especially back then, because it's kind of like quarantine life. You just got nothing to do.
Sure.
So if you couldn't make a decision within 24 hours while you're just sitting in sand, then you obviously don't care that much.
Yeah, that's a super valid point.
I'm trying to find the good.
I get you, man. I get you. I mean, you got a little bit of time to find some good stuff, and then it just
in between just violent sexism. It's just like, well,
Wow.